Hello, this is Dr. Galvin. In this video, I wanted to go through the resources available that I have provided for Chapter 5 and 6. I will also explain the Tissues and Skin lab, since this is the first lab where you will be using the eScience lab kit. This model is on tissues and skin, and you will have 2 weeks to complete. On the screen, you will see that I have already logged into Moodle and scroll down to the Chapter 5 and 6 module on the tissues and skin. First, you will notice the overview for both Chapter 5 and also for Chapter 6, and you will see the Chapter 5 notes and also the lecture videos for both of those chapters. Under assignments, I have posted the instructions for experiments from your lab kit that is from the lab manual located on the eScience website. Before you begin working on these experiments, however, download the lab first. So here you will see the Tissues and Skin lab. This is the lab assignment that you will need, and as it says to download and follow the instructions carefully. Once you have downloaded the document, you'll see that this Word document contains both tables as well as post-lab questions that I want you to complete. So this is the assignment that will be graded. So for the very first thing, it's telling you that experiment 3 is the first item that will be graded in this particular lab activity. This is on the sweat gland distribution. Once you complete that lab, or as you complete it, you can record your results directly into this table, then complete those questions. As you scroll down in this Word document, the next thing you see is that you are instructed to insert a photo performing the experiment. Always make sure that you put your photo ID inside of the photo of your results. Do not submit a separate photo of just your ID. I want that placed in where your results are. Then the next experiment is on skin receptors. Again, I've put the table that comes out of the instructions for the experiment into this document. So you're going to complete this table, table 3. Then there are more review questions on this particular experiment. And again, I'm telling you to insert another photo of the results of the skin receptor experiment and make sure that your photo ID is in that one photo. Finally, the last experiment that you will complete is on the fetal pig. So this will also be the first lab using your fetal pig. Follow the instructions that are located in Moodle, complete your table, and then there is one post-lab question for you on the fetal pig. Now, when you're complete with the experiment 5 on the fetal pig, make sure you follow the instructions for storage. Put the bag back inside of the plastic bag and store it properly. You are going to need the fetal pig not only throughout Bio 168, but also in Bio 169 for the semester that you take that online. So do not throw the fetal pig away until the very end of Bio 169. Now the instructions for doing the experiment then are located underneath the lab assignment document. But first, before we get to those instructions, let's read the instructions for the tissues and skin that I told you to follow. So here it's telling you first to read the lab intro that you saw in Moodle. Go ahead and review and use any of the learning resources provided, answer the questions. However, you don't need to submit anything for a grade. Then there is also experiment 1 and 2. In Moodle, I told you that these were optional, so I didn't include that here. But in this, I'm telling you to do experiment 3 and 4 and also experiment 5. And I'm telling you that you're to record all of your results in the table and do the questions. Then for submission, you're going to put all of your results in that one assignment document. So that document is the only thing you're going to upload. Do not submit the post-lab questions from the experiment separately. Your post-lab questions are already included in the assignment documents. Also, do not post your photos separately. You're to have those photos. It's supposed to have your photo ID. If you don't have a college one, you can use your driver's license. But make sure that photo shows you doing the lab, preferably showing your end results after each lab, so I can see that you've actually completed it. Once you've completed all 3 of the experiments, make sure you save it somewhere that you remember, and then you are going to upload your one assignment document into Moodle. On the bottom here, read please. It says, do not submit the experiments separately. They should all be submitted as one document, including photos, in this Tissues and Skin lab assignment document. Now for submission, you're going to go over to the submission button when you have it completed. So you're going to click on that. Then you can either drag your file that you've saved, the assignment document here, or you can click on this and it will ask you to browse and locate your file, and you're going to submit it there. Then you will save your changes. And I didn't submit anything, but once you save your changes, it will ask you some further questions. So here I have gone to uploading the file. So I've hit the submit button, and now I'm going to upload. I already went and I browsed my tissue and skin lab activity assignment, and then I'm going to click upload the file. Once that file was uploaded, make sure you look to make sure that your document did upload. Go ahead and save changes. And once you've done that, you're going to see your file submission. It's going to have the date and the time and so forth. If you want to put any comments, you can do that as well. If you want to just save this as a draft, if you're not quite completed or you're not quite sure about that, this is now saved as a draft. However, in order for it to be submitted for grading, you need to come down and submit assignment. Until you hit submit this assignment, you can always go back and edit your assignment document. However, once you're completely satisfied that it's done, everything's correct, go ahead and hit the submit assignment here, and then that will actually submit it for grading. So let me show you where those individual instructions were placed into Moodle. Remember, I took these off of the eScience website and put them here for your convenience. Here's the introduction I was talking about. Make sure you read this. It gives you a nice introduction on tissues and skin. This is experiment 1, which is on a microscopic slide of tissue. This is 2, which is on a slide of the skin. Please look at these. Look at the questions, answer them as part of a study tool. However, I've put in bold, neither one of these are graded. You do not need to submit anything. So in the assignment document then, you were told to do experiment 3, 4, and 5. And I just went over what you were to include in your assignment document as far as completing those tables and answering the questions. Now, I did want to give a little explanation for the sweat gland distribution because it can be confusing, and I do get questions. So for this particular experiment, so when you click on the title of Experiment 3, this document will pop up. So these are the instructions. So it'll give you an introduction. It'll tell you what you're going to need. So in your lab kit, you're going to have to locate these items. Now, follow the procedure for this experiment. You'll notice it's asking you to cut out 4 5-centimeter by 5-centimeter squares of paper. And then follow the instructions for doing this. The instructions told you to take 4 specific parts of your body to determine the number of sweat glands that were present in these areas. So this is an example of one of those 5 by 5 centimeters of graph paper that will be placed on your skin after you put the betadine on. And when you take it off, you're going to notice that there are dots on it. Now, some areas will have many dots. Some will not have any dots, and some will just have a few. So the instructions told you that after removing the graph paper under your procedures, you are to count the number of dots on this 5 by 5 centimeter piece of paper. Now, in order to get centimeters squared, you're going to multiply the length and width of that, 5 times 5. So the total area in centimeters squared is 25. Now what you're going to do in step number 2 is you're going to count how many dots that you see on this 25 centimeter squared paper. Divide the number of dots by 25, and this is the value you'll record in table 2 as the sweat glands per square centimeter. That is all that I have for you today. So good luck on your labs, and if you have any questions, as usual, just let me know.